Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. As you guys could probably tell by the thumbnail, today's going to be another Pixlr tutorial on how to make a Fortnite Twitter header. Before we get too far into this video, again, if you guys could drop a like on this video, it would really help me out a lot. Also, if you guys like this style of video, like Fortnite tutorials, like thumbnails, banners, headers, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscription button as well. And also, if you guys have a little bit of extra time, make sure to go ahead and check out my last video on the channel. It's not a tutorial, but it was a phase G Fuel collector's box, the new one that they just released. So if you guys want to watch it after, I'll toss it on the end screen of the end of this video. But yeah, as I said before, today's tutorial is going to be a Twitter header tutorial. Now, I actually have this header on my Twitter profile. If you guys do want to go ahead and check that out, my Twitter will pop up somewhere on screen above me probably. But this is what the official version looks like. Let me go ahead and drag it over. As you guys can see here, it's looking pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of it as well. It's got my sponsors on it as well, so I'll show you guys how to do that if you guys have any sponsors. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I will show you guys how to make this entirely, and then at the end of the video I will also show you guys how you guys can get the orange version, which kind of looks like this, and I'll show you guys how to make whatever color you want. This is what the blue one looks like. And again, if you guys are new to the channel and you guys haven't seen any of my other Pixlr tutorials, Pixlr is a free software that is completely free to use. You don't have to download anything. You guys can make something like this on there, which I think looks pretty cool for Pixlr in my personal opinion. And then as well as that, make sure you guys go ahead and download the top link in the description. Is a link to a Google Drive that will have all of these images in it for you guys to download. You guys are going to need this one. You guys are going to need the Twitter header template as well, and I will leave the font as well in that Google Drive for you guys to download if you want to use the exact one that I use in this video. We have the topographic PNG as well for you guys, and then this one also I used. And as well as that, we got the render, and I actually decided to give you guys another render that I think would actually look good on this header if you guys do want to use this one instead to mix it up a little bit. But this is the original one that I used for it. Again, top link in the description if you guys just want to download everything first, I would recommend. But it's going to be a little bit in depth, so I'm going to try and cover everything as quick as I can in this tutorial. So again, if you guys do need to rewind or turn down the playback speed to like 0.75, feel free to. I've got lots of other tutorials on the channel, Pixlr tutorials and stuff like that, so I'm not going to really spend the time going through any of the basics, but I will go through every step of adding everything and changing the colors and everything. You guys know that I go through every single step for you guys so you can recreate it for yourself. But I think that's enough talking. Well, like 4 minutes recording. Let's go ahead and just jump into the tutorial. All right, so head to Pixlr. There will be a top link in the description for the website if you guys do want to hop in there. But we are making a Twitter header today, so if you guys want to make a YouTube banner that kind of has like the same designs as this one, maybe I'll do a tutorial in the future where I show you guys how to make this one for like a YouTube banner instead, or you guys could like follow my other YouTube banner tutorials. But we're gonna be doing a Twitter header today, so it's only for Twitter. And the Twitter header template size is width 1500 and then height is 500, and this is basically the standard width and height for a Twitter header. And we're gonna leave the background as transparent. You guys can name it Fortnite header, whatever you guys want. We're gonna click create, and then this gives us our template here. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna show you guys is actually how to get the background, how to get the black, the blue, and also how to toss that topographic PNG over like the background as well. So first, assuming you guys already downloaded everything from the Google Drive, we're gonna go to layer, not element, oh my gosh, I'm already messing up here, layer, add image as layer, and we're gonna go ahead and find, now I have everything jumbled up here, but I'll have it all in the folder for you guys. We're gonna find that Twitter header template. Now this is key. We're gonna use this a couple times actually, but I'm gonna use this as like to separate the background. So I'm just gonna take this, and as you guys can see here, it matches perfectly because it is that template size. And I'm gonna drag this over to like right about here. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna click on that background. I'm gonna go to select pixels, and it's gonna select everything. Now I'm gonna go to the brush tool right here. I'm gonna go to the color selection, and then as you guys can see in the thumbnail, the banner is kind of like a black, but it's more of like a dark gray. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of get that color. Now you guys can go just for a straight black or like a lighter gray, but I think this like, it's kind of like a slate color. I think it looks pretty cool in my opinion. But we're gonna go there, and then what we can do is just have the brush a bit bigger, and we definitely want to have this softness all the way at 0, and then we can just color that in right there. and then go to select, deselect. Now the reason I brushed that over is because we're actually still able to move this. So whenever we add the PNG of the Fortnite render, we'll be able to like move it around and stuff like that. So we're actually gonna go to layer, add image as layer, and we're actually gonna add another one of the same exact thing. And now I'm gonna drag this to the left side. All right, so I actually have this color palette here, and I will toss this color palette in the Google Drive if you guys want it. But this is just some colors that I was gonna base like my base colors off of. So this left side, as you guys can see this in the thumbnail, I had it as like a cyberpunk color, kind of like a cyan, I would assume you call it. But we're gonna go to select and select pixels like we did before. And we're gonna go to the brush, and for the color, I'm actually going to choose one of them off this picker. And then I believe I had it as more of like this kind of blue. Yeah, then I'm gonna go ahead and brush it in. Yeah, that seems about right here. So you're just gonna brush it in like that and go to select, deselect. Now again, you guys can just go through the color thing and choose whatever color you guys like. All personal preference, to be honest. I don't really need that anymore. So as you guys can see here, we kind of have our background thing here, and I'm just gonna move this a little bit to the right. I'm actually gonna go through here, and I'm gonna go to select pixels. I'm just gonna brush a bit more of that in so I can move it later on down the road if I need to. I'm gonna go select and deselect. So now I'm just gonna kind of put it wherever I need. I believe I have like right here, I suppose. Yeah, so now we're gonna focus on getting that topographic pattern over this left side. So I'm gonna go to layer, add image as layer, and just go through that folder that you guys downloaded from the Google Drive and just find the topographic PNG. And it's super simple. I already overlaid it in white for you guys in Photoshop, so you guys aren't gonna have to worry about it being a different color, like black or gray or anything like that. Then you're just gonna kind of line it up. Now, I believe I had it a bit bigger because it does look a bit bigger when it's scaled. And it doesn't really have to match up to that right side, but it's already looking pretty good here, as you guys can see. Now, the next thing is I'm just gonna focus on getting that 3D render in and kind of getting the color the way I want on the 3D render. So I'm gonna go to add image as layer and just find whatever render you guys wanted to use. We're gonna use this one just for an example. I'm kind of messing up the shape of this, aren't I? There, that's a little bit better. And I'm gonna kind of shape it. Now the top of this, as you guys can see here, like the top of the head is cut off, so we do need to kind of like make it to cover the entire thing. That looks good. And I'm just gonna use the arrow buttons on my keyboard to kind of just shift it over here. And the thing is, we want to have this directly like in between, so it gives that like effect that it's covering it, you know what I mean? I think it looks pretty cool. But obviously the first thing that we always do with the 3D renders here is to go to adjustment. We're gonna go to brightness and contrast. We're just gonna give it a little bit of contrast to make it look a bit better. And then what I actually did to get this like pink tint, I believe it was adjustment, and then I went to temperature and tint. Here it is. So now we're gonna take this tint and we're gonna drop it all the way down to give it like that pink overlay, which looks super cool. The temperature, I guess you don't really have to mess with that too much, but that looks looking pretty good for me here. So now we're gonna focus on getting a little bit effects on this thing. So I'm actually gonna go to, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go to filter, and I'm gonna go to drop shadow, and I'm actually gonna choose white, and I'm gonna go to opacity. I'm gonna drag it up. No, I'm gonna drag it. Yeah, I'm gonna drag it up to 100%, and I'm gonna drag the blur on nothing, and then I'm gonna go to offset, and I believe in the thumbnail I had it right about down here. Gives it kind of a cool effect in my opinion. We're gonna click apply. Now let's go ahead and focus on the text. Now again, I'll toss the font if you guys did see in that Google Drive, if you guys want to download that font. And if you guys want to know how to download fonts on Pixlr, all you have to do is unzip the font from the like zip file, and then you just have to go to the text tool, and whenever you add text, just click down here and click add local font and find it wherever you saved it on your computer. If you guys want to watch a full in-depth tutorial, I have a full tutorial on how to get fonts on Pixlr. I'll toss the little card up if you guys do want to go check that out. But I spent a while trying to find a nice clean font that would work with this banner, so I appreciate it if you guys again could like the video, subscribe to the channel. This font is super clean. I spent a while trying to find like one similar to another design that I saw on the internet, and this one is super clean and it looks really good italicized as well. So again, make sure you guys put your name in, whatever you guys want it to say. But you know, as an example, I'm gonna put ice kicks, and we want it to be white, not blue. And go to these settings, and we're gonna go to italic because I do think it just looks a little bit more clean with the italicized text. I'm gonna drag it up a bit here. And yeah, right about here, I'd say. I'm gonna go there, and then I'm actually going to go to layer, rasterize. I'm gonna go to edit, free transform of the text, and I'm just gonna kind of make it look a little bit better, just a tad. That's looking about good right there. Now, as you guys can see here, if I pull it up, I have a little bit of text going here, and I also have some text right here, and I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. So we're gonna take this ice kicks, and we are going to go to this, and we're gonna go to duplicate. And as you guys can see here, the copy is actually the one underneath it, and I am going to drag, first of all, the copy underneath so it's below. Now I'm gonna go here, as I'm gonna go to edit, and I'm gonna go to stroke. Actually, I wanna make sure, again, I'm on the copy. All right, so we need to lock the top layer because otherwise I'm just gonna keep moving it. We need to copy underneath it, obviously. But again, we're gonna go to edit, we're gonna go to stroke, and then the key thing here is to put outline only. That is the key here. And we're gonna go to like this pink. You can click here if you want like the exact pink, but we're gonna go to size. We're gonna make that a bit smaller. Probably just keep it at like 2 or 3. And I'm going to drag the opacity down a tad just so it blends in with the background a little bit, and click apply. And then I'm just gonna use the arrow keys to kind of move it so it looks kind of cohesive in it. And I think that's good. Now let's focus on getting that. So for the text right about here, I'm just gonna add another layer, and I'm just gonna put ice kicks. I don't know why it resorts to blue every time, but we're gonna choose that pink. Go here. We're gonna go to edit, or no, we're gonna go here. And I believe it's styles. Yeah, we're gonna go to outline, punch out, and oh, we gotta choose the color again of that pink. We're gonna click OK, and we're gonna go to size down to like, I think like right about here. And then we're gonna go out of that. Now all we gotta do is rotate this guy. I believe I had it, actually, no. Before we rotate it, I want to make sure I have it on italic. I'm going to keep forgetting that. The italic version of this font just looks that much better in my opinion. But we're going to make sure we drag it and try to get it as like vertical as we can. And we're going to put it right there. Now all we need to do is drag that underneath the render. First we got to unlock this layer right here. And we got that going here. Now if you guys want to, you can go to layer, rasterize on that text, edit, free transform, and you can make it maybe stick out a little bit more if you guys want to. You know, that's kind of all up to you guys. That's looking pretty good right there. Now let's go ahead and finish off some of the details. Now we're gonna go to layer, add image as layer, and first I'm just gonna add this. So this is a little bit of a background layer I had just chilling right about here. I'm gonna try to get the size as correctly as I can here. And we're gonna drag that again underneath the 3D render. And then we're gonna go ahead and focus. So if you guys look here, I have some cool effects around this, like the X's, and I also have some cool effects around the render as well. So I'll show you guys how to do that quick as well. So we go to layer, add image as layer, and in the folder, again, that you guys download the Google Drive, I have a pink X, and I also have a white X. I believe this is the white one. So we go to like maybe for the white one for an example, we're gonna drag it down a little bit. And then we're just gonna have it right about here. So we have it right about there. Now I'm gonna go to, I believe it was filter and drop shadow. And I'm gonna choose the drop shadow as the pink. And I'm gonna drag it up to the more vibrant pink here. Again, opacity full. We want the blur on none. And the X offset is gonna be like that. And the Y is gonna be like that. So we're gonna hit apply, and that's kind of how you get that cool effect. Now to add like the pink one, let's go to layer, add image as layer. And we're gonna grab the pink one. We're gonna drag this one all the way down. We're gonna make this one a bit smaller than the other one. And then again, we're gonna go to filter, drop shadow. This time I'm gonna choose a white drop shadow. Again, opacity at 100. Now blur at nothing. And then X and Y. You guys can kind of just finagle right there. Getting that apply. Now let's go ahead and focus on, let me see if I can open it up one more time. So we're gonna focus on getting this youtube.com/icekicks. You guys can put a Twitch here if you guys want to put your Twitch, or put whatever socials you guys really want. So to go ahead and do that, we're gonna go to the typing tool. I'm gonna go to add text. Again, I'm going to choose italic, and for color, I'm going to choose white. And I'm going to put youtube.com/ oh gosh, /ice kicks. We're gonna hope I spelled that right. And we're just gonna drag it down to kind of fit. Open that just for an example. And I believe size, maybe just a tad bigger. Put this right about here. Now, what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna take this text layer and we're gonna grab this tool up here, and I'm just going to drag this above, and I'm gonna drag it all the way across. And now I'm gonna go to the brush tool, and I'm gonna grab that blue color that I used before, make sure it's on that top color, and I'm gonna go to the brush, and I'm going to go to this back layer, and I'm going to scrub this in and make sure it's all blue like that. And then I'm going to go to that cross layer. Where is it? The cross PNG, yeah. And I'm just gonna delete, and we should be good there. Select, deselect. Now ideally this text doesn't really give us much room on the right side to work with it, but we're gonna make the size just a tad smaller by going to the text layer, dragging the size down just a bit, just a tad. Gives us a bit more room on that right side to work with it. That's looking about good right there. Now we're gonna focus on getting the, we got a little bit of extra effects here, like the X's around, and we also have sponsors and this little topographic effect that I did over here. I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So we're gonna focus on getting that topographic effect first. So what you can do is just add another layer of the topographic PNG, but I'm actually just going to see if I can find it and just duplicate the same layer we already have. And I'm gonna take the duplicated layer and just drag it all the way up, and I'm gonna lock the bottom one so we don't mess with it at all. I'm gonna go back to the top one, and we're gonna drag it over here. All right, so we're just gonna try to get it to look as good as we can here. So we're going to zoom in with the scroll wheel on our mouse a tad here to get a better view at it. And I'm gonna make sure it lines up good first. And then what we can actually do is go to the background layer, and we can go to the magic wand select, and we can select this box right here. And then if we go back to the top topographic layer, we can just do edit cut, and then we can just do edit paste and just paste it right back there. Then we can just delete this top layer right here, and we can take this bottom layer and just drag it all the way over, giving us that effect. And if we zoom out, as we can see here, it gives us that effect. You guys can kind of just have whichever section of it you guys want. Now, if we actually zoom in a little bit, if you guys want to be tedious, you can see that these lines on this left side aren't really connected to anything. So I could take the polygonal lasso, make sure I'm selected on that layer up there, and I can just go click each time I want to get rid of it. So you guys could use the eraser tool if you guys really want to as well, but go to delete, select, deselect. Looks a bit better now. You can zoom out a bit. Now for getting these, as you guys can see here, we have a few X's over here. All we need to do here is just take the pink one and the white one. We can take the white one and go to layer, rasterize, and then click the three dots and just duplicate it. And then we can toss this one. Take this one, and this one is actually gonna be the one that goes behind. Oh, I don't wanna move that one. We're gonna lock that layer so we don't keep messing with it. And this is gonna be right about here. And then I'm gonna take the pink one, I'm gonna go to layer, rasterize, and then again, I'm gonna duplicate that one and just grab a copy of it. And this one, I believe, was right about here, and this was actually above all of it. Right about here. And then we had one more pink one, so we're just gonna duplicate the same one, drag it up there, make it a bunch smaller, have it right about there. Now we're gonna take this one, we're actually gonna go back to that back layer, again going to the wand and just selecting this whole blue area. All right, so this is the one we need to obviously be doing. So now that we have that selected, just hit the delete button and it's gonna delete it. Go to select, deselect, and that's kind of how I did that little bit of an overlay right there. I think it looks pretty cool in my opinion. And yeah, I think that's about it. You guys can add lots of like cool extra stuff if you guys do want to. You know, it is completely up to you guys to make it however you want. So all I did extra for this was I just added my sponsors, which is Sizzle Popcorn, Spawn GG, and Matrix Keyboards. Code ICE on Matrix. Spawn GG is like a website thing, and then Sizzle Popcorn, use code IceKicks if you guys want to save. It's just IceKicks, one word. If you guys do want to save, I believe it's like 10% over there. And then also, if we zoom in a little bit, I added a little bit of grain to the entire one. So as you guys can see here, it's a bit grainy, which I think adds like a cool effect. Like these are kind of like grained over as well. So after you guys save like the entire project, so if we go to File and we go to Save and make sure it's JPG, drag it to 100%. And if I download it, now if I go ahead and it's gonna make me wait a couple seconds here, but like if I go to New Image and I go to again 1500 by 1500, so if I go to Layer, Add Image as Layer, and I find that one that I just made, yeah, so this is the one I just made. If I click on the entire thing and I go to I believe it was Filter, Details, and Grain, I can just drag this grain up a bunch. And as you guys can see, if I like just do it a lot, which obviously you guys only want to do it maybe like anywhere between 10 and 20 max, but if I drag it up, kind of just show you guys, as you guys can see here, it adds like a cool grain effect over the entire thing, which I think looks pretty cool in my opinion. Gives it kind of a cool effect. If you guys want to do individually, you can just do like the render and everything like that. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys found this video helpful at all, please go ahead and hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. I got a bunch of cool videos coming up on the channel, so also make sure you guys can have notifications on so you guys know when all my videos do go live. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.